Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego to the site, the Tier 2 blue emote into the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome to the party. It's a Thursday night. Ghost Valve's here. Hello, Ghost Valve. Welcome to the party. I don't know why I said it like that twice, but I did. But yeah, welcome everybody. We're going to work on a cool model kit. We're going to hang out. It's going to be a fun time working on the Forbidden Gundam, which is very fun to say. It's just a kit that is fun to say out loud. Forbidden Gundam. Spooky. It's not spooky. I don't know why I said it was spooky. I want to check one thing real quick here. Okay, so we want that. We want that. It goes there, so I want to do that. Okay, so if I do that, that means that on this day we do this. It comes out on that. It's a week away. I think that's fine. Okay. I'm just figuring out my schedule for one thing that is related to these streams. Let me just double check this really quick. My apologies, I'm doing this now. I forgot to do it earlier. So I am doing it right now. All right, yeah, so the first anime comes out in first anime of the new season comes out in 25 days. So yeah, okay. I have figured out that. Not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, the 17th, I'm going to do that. It will be the next recording of Pat Baer's Anime Club live, which will be my my spring review and my summer preview. I had to figure out when that was going to be because I want it to come out before the new season starts, even if that means that while I'm recording the video, I'll be saying things like, nobody's picked this up yet, or they haven't announced if they picked it up yet, which is always a bummer because often the day after I record it, before I even post it on my YouTube channel, it ends up being that somebody, one of these or two of these shows get picked up. Because almost everything that's not children's programming. Hey, Laura Crashington. Anime that is directed at incredibly young people, kids, I should say, instead of young people. Anime that's directed at young children often does not get dubbed because it is cheaper to just produce other works, unless it is taken over Japan so much that they're going to dub it. But they're not going to make anime subtitled for kids that can't read. So that's the number one category of stuff that does not get translation, be it subtitled or dubbed. And then there's always a couple shows that just don't. Eventually they're going to sell it on DVD, or they just don't have a licensing agreement with anybody, or they just... It becomes one of those shows that nobody actually wanted, so there's no arms race for it. It's always weird, because often it's this romantic comedy that seems cool just didn't get a dub, or a sub, or, I don't know, this kind of fun show about a guy and a dog didn't get picked up. Nobody knows why no one wanted it. They just didn't. Anyway, on Monday's stream, we completed the head, the chest, and we worked on one of the arms here, and we will continue with the other arm. Pretty straightforward. There are some stickers. An interesting thing about this kit is because the backpack is so huge, we're doing the backpack after we do the arms. We jump from the arms to the backpack. The one-arm Gundam. Indeed, Lord Crashington, this kit is customized right now until it isn't. Right now it is one of a kind. And then it won't be. We got our fake chrome parts here, which I really like the vibe of. I just think they're neat. So we'll get those snapped out. What series is Forbidden from? Asked John. Hi, I'm John. Forbidden is from Gundam Seed. Let me do a quick little looking over at the entry on the Gundam Wiki, which is unfortunately a fandom wiki, but I have a bunch of things turned on so that it does not become an impossible to read website. But yes, so this is from Gundam Seed. It is piloted by a fake human, a biological CPU. It's just what they call in the show. But yeah, it's a It's meant for like, it's got the transphase armor. It's meant for like nonsense. It is similar to the design of the Blitz Gundam. It is like an offshoot of that. Our biological CPUs, new types. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's just like, so you, John, it's one of those things where like, in space, people got incredible, cool abilities, and then on Earth, they were like, we should try to make that happen here, and that's where you get those kinds of things. Seed is not rated highly among my friends. So Seed is a attempt to modernize the original Gundam series in a way. It is attempt to do like, okay, let's do a series where let's have another young male character as the main character. Let's have someone he's close with be an enemy. Let's have side switching. Let's do like, we'll have all this. We'll have to have a guy in a mask. We'll also take some mobile suits that are kind of, but not really Gundam wing designs, like the Blitz Gundam and the Buster Gundam. You have to have a person in a mask, indeed. So in one way, it is like a, for the time, modern take on the original series. It does take a lot of lessons from Wing, and it was, at the time, some people liked it, but definitely not enough people liked it. My opinion was always that Gundam Seed was fine. I was happy because it meant there were new model kits, and at least one of those model kits, as I've mentioned, was kind of like a Death Scythe. And as you know, I really like the Death Scythe. So yeah, it internationally didn't do as well as they were hoping, but Japan liked it because the mobile suit design were good, and also it was just well received. And there was Gundam Seed Destiny. So that's a good indication that it was popular. They made a follow-up series, Destiny. And then years later, obviously, they made the movie where we're getting some new kits, and that's fun. But yeah, I mean, a big part of its popularity was like fully just Japan deciding they liked it. So, which even at the time, was like all you really needed. Like the international market, model kits got sold internationally, and there certainly was a demand for it, but it wasn't like Gundam Wing made Gundam an international phenomenon, but it didn't mean that every other Gundam series was gonna do as well as Wing did. And Seed didn't do that. That you'd have to wait for Iron-Blooded Orphans for another unbelievably international hit. And then after that, like, Age didn't do it, like, remakes didn't really do it, obviously Turn A didn't do, like, you know, like, the various series before and after never really hit the heights, until Witch from Mercury. Give us Witch from Mercury 2, Witch from Earth. I mean, the idea that they would return to Witch from Mercury feels like it's past, but also, yeah, they probably should have done that. But it does feel like they won't. Now, will they do a movie? Possibly. There's every, it's totally reasonable to think that there could be a Witch from Mercury movie. I also don't know the economics of how these anime movies work in Japan. So the real thing is, like, movies do very well internationally, including in Japan. They often do very well in Japan. If there's going to be a movie, the idea is, generally, I'm speaking in generalities, like I am just speaking like off the cuff, in these genres. I'm not getting into any specifics here, but often it will be after a while, because the idea is you get the people that are now nostalgic for that particular Gundam series, and you also get the people that came to it later, and you get the Gunpla enthusiasts who are nostalgic, And now you've gotten better technology on your model kits, and so they go back and maybe they check out some other stuff, and it is a business decision in a business. There's obviously creativity to it, and in fact, there may be ideas that have been seeded right now that are in a folder somewhere that say Witch from Mercury movie, and a bunch of ideas. But often their timing, like Gundam Seed still has a fan base, but it's not like there was a huge amount of nostalgia for it until there was a movie coming out. And then people were like, oh yeah, I'll see that. I'll buy those kits again. Oh, I haven't thought about that show in a long time. And like it hits you. So could there be a Witch from Mercury movie? Yeah. In the same way that they're still making a mobile game for Iron-Blooded Orphans. And every time it seems like, oh, they finally stopped working on that game, huh? They finally abandoned it. There's like a new trailer for it. Like they're still actively working on that. And when it comes out, they'll put out new model kits or they'll put out reissues of old model kits because there will be enough people going like, fuck yeah, Iron-Blooded Orphans? Hell yeah. And they're right to think that, but it'll still work for what they're trying to do. What's really wild about that is Erd Hunt, which is the name of the game, it got delayed like several times. One of those delays happened right before model kits came out for the fucking video game. And those kits still came out. I've built them on this channel, the 2 Erd Hunt kits that got made, which is wild because I was like, I have no idea what Erd Hunt is when I bought it, and then I was like looking up info, and it's like, wait, this is a video game that hasn't come out yet. Like what? Wait, what? What's happening? Someday that'll come out. So a lot of it is just like timing, like. Could they have rushed out before this current series? Could they have rushed out a Witch from Mercury movie? They certainly could have. But it probably makes more sense for them to do it later to get people... when there's like another series coming out and to be like, oh, well, before this series comes out, you got to watch this thing. And then, they can kind of get them again. I need C10, which is the other hand. All right, I have some stuff to talk about here. Very quickly, we will talk about the Switch 2 stuff. The only thing I will say this. It sounds like in Staten Island, and only in Staten Island so far, that there have been some people who have gotten their Switch 2s damaged by the people that were selling the Switch 2s to them because they were stapling the receipts to the box and the staples were puncturing something on the Switch 2. And apparently the reason why they were stapling the receipts to the box was because it was very hot in that location and the tape was coming off, so they couldn't tape it. And it feels like people were like, this calls into question the packing on the Switch 2. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It calls into question why people are letting someone with a stapler anywhere near their very expensive console. I would just say, I'd like to hold my receipt, please. Please don't staple it to the box. And I think that's totally reasonable to say, and what more people should have said. And I don't know how that's on Nintendo. But that was one of the 2 big stories about Switch 2 that were going out there. I love how the story followed a telephone game to blow it into a bigger deal than it is. I mean, mostly it was just headlines. And I will say, often headlines are not on the writer. A writer will submit a headline, but often their editors or someone even above the editors will change it. And sometimes those get changed into being more like attention grabbing, right? Because like, hey, a story about the Switch 2 is going to get eyes on the product. A story about the Switch 2 and Nintendo fucking up will get more eyes on the product as people are like, because it gets people that are interested in the Switch 2 and people who are interested in being mad about the Switch 2 and everyone will read it, and I understand why that happens, even if I think it's bad. My Best Buy just put receipts in the bag or handed to people, yeah. But we're also going to talk about, on the positive side, let's talk about Walmart. So, email receipt, that's also a good option, yeah. So if you got your Switch 2, and you got it delivered by Walmart, some of y'all got that very early in the morning. You know, they were out there. They were doing their thing. And Walmart did a special thank you for getting your Switch 2 at Walmart. Seemingly unprompted, and just a decision they made, that along with your Switch 2, you would receive a 20-ounce Coke product and a can of Pringles. Now, Aftermath reached out to a spokesperson from Walmart who said, we kind of know the stereotypical gamer, and of course, they're going to need snacks while they game. That is a quote given to them. And yeah, like, yeah, all right. Yeah, I think that's cool and fun. I think that's a nice little thing. Being like, hey, thanks. Here you go. Because some people who got their Switch 2s delivered are not going to read the article on a website. They're not going to read Aftermath or Polygon or whatever. They're just going to be like, oh, my delivery person gave me a Coke and and some Pringles. Hell yeah. I hope no one spilled the pop on their brand new Switch 2. Well, I'm sure someone will at some point. I don't know if it'll be, these people, but somebody will do that because that's, what happens. Put your Switch 2 in the dock and keep your soda away from it. Switch, it's like, I spilled my free Coke in my Joy-Con 2. I don't know why this is not feeding together. This is supposed to feed together real easy. I already built one of these arms. Why is the other arm being so weird to me right now? Gotta do tall side forward. That. I don't know. Let me put this in and see why it's not working. But something is being weird about this here, and I'm not sure why. Let me just pop this in here and see if I can figure out this. Yeah, it just wants to come out. That's real clean, and this is not. All right. No. You shouldn't be able to see this little thing there. I think if I pop this off. I don't know what's going on here. I opened it up to see if I could see why this is being. Yeah, that's a tight fit. So that's. Ooh, okay. I think I know what it is. I think I put the polycap wrong on the one that I'm having trouble with, and so that is what's wrong. Okay, I think I realize now what's going on, and then of course I have to fix this, which is being weird. So that's fun. That's fun. In trying to figure something out, I've made it worse for the thing that was already working fine. Such is my life. All right, so we'll put it like that. What? Okay. So yeah, now, as I mentioned, this was a thing that Walmart just did. One person tweeted a particular photo, or shared a particular photo on social media. I don't know if it was Twitter. I have to look at the photo. And said this. Oh, it appears to be on Twitter. I ordered a Switch 2 from Walmart, and just now they brought it over. They also left me 17 bags of Pringles and Coke that I didn't order. I got out of bed after a little sleep and thought I was hallucinating. So, yeah. So apparently, this delivery person realized, actually, delivering a bag with a soda and a can of Pringles in it to every person I have to deliver a Switch 2 for would be a lot of work. And what if instead I just left all of the bags with this one Switch 2 customer? And I think that's fucking awesome. Lesrick says that's why that explains why I didn't get one. I feel that person. Yeah, I love it. I love the delivery person that's like, I'm not getting anything extra from doing this. I just have to give extra stuff to people. Fuck that. Oh yes, I did deliver all of them. All of them were delivered. And I think that's great. And then I also love the person who was just like, am I okay? Is this real? I also love that person. I love the person that's just like, is this really happening? Is this real life? Also, the Switch 2 already came in a bag. They could put those in. Well, so, yeah, apparently, there's the bag that you deliver the Switch 2 in, which gets sorted by one person, but each Walmart that was making deliveries also had to have somebody take a soda and a Pringle and put it in a separate Walmart gift bag. I don't know if it was a joke thing, but I saw a person or two that got 2 liters. Okay, so I believe it's just supposed to be a 20-ounce soda, so that could be that that Walmart ran out of 20 ounces that were allocated and just grabbed sodas, or it could be that someone was just like making joke posts. That either of those is a possibility. But yeah, I believe it was just supposed to be a 20-ounce soda, and which is again fun. All right, we've almost finished the arm here, and we'll panel line it. I fixed my mistake, which I'm happy about. But yeah, I love this photo of all of these Pringles and all of these sodas, and also a photo of a Switch 2 and an insane amount of bags, an insane amount of Walmart bags in the background. It's very good. So that explains that, if you were wondering why some people were talking about their free Pringles from Walmart. Man, also, sorry, I would love some Pringles. I think it would be great to have some Pringles. It's been a while. I would like to have Pringles. And I would like to make that happen. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it right now, folks. I'd like to make that happen. So I think we'll save. Well, maybe we won't save that. I don't know. Let's do the depressing things next in gaming, and then we'll do all the reveals at the Sony State of Play, which there were plenty of and were cool. We will first start with some layoffs. A Scottish game developer has had some layoffs, unfortunately. That would be Outplay Entertainment, the folks that brought you Angry Birds Pop and Subway Surfers Blast. They have laid off 21 employees, and they had a bullshit statement about it not a decision to take lightly. This has been a company that has existed for 15 years now. And yeah, they're just making layoffs because of bad headwinds, current business realities, and all that. Nothing much to say about this other than we do talk about layoffs, and so I did want to bring up this company doing the layoffs, unfortunately. Also, Jagex, which is the studio behind RuneScape, has laid off an undisclosed number of staff from quote-unquote non-game development roles. But of course, if you work for a game developer, you are a game developer. Even if your role is not making games, you work for a studio that makes video games. So I do not love that. This includes apparently some formerly paid moderators for their subreddit. And it was mentioned by some people, majority of layoffs were from non-game dev and non-player facing areas. Adding that the roadmap for RuneSpace, Dragon Winds, which is it been in early access for 2 months, won't change because of these job reductions. So basically they're like, hey, it'll be fine. It'll be fucking fine. And we do not know how many people. A lot of support teams people. And then Extra Games has been shuttered. Extra Games, which was a studio under Zynga, they are the developers of Torchlight 3. Zynga had bought them in 2021 to work on RPGs, and then shut down the company. No word if they have been able to move anybody into other roles, or if how many people were laid off on this. And the CEO of Extra at the time of them going there when they joined was formerly of Blizzard North and also Runic Games. And of course, Zynga is owned by Take-Two Interactive, who, despite not being able to have a Grand Theft Auto game out this year, have said they're still doing very well. And of course, that goes along with that. Layoffs when things are good, layoffs when things are bad, layoffs all the fucking time. Which is a shame. But yeah, those are the depressing stories. And now on to some hopeful hope here. Some hopeful hope. We'll talk about the PlayStation State of Play. There were a bunch of cool shit here. The folks what brought you Tetris Effect are working on Lumines Arise, which is coming to PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 this fall. And it looks pretty fucking cool. I don't have much to say. I like Lumines. I don't like Lumines as much as some people do. But Lumines Arise looks pretty dope, and I look forward to watching people I know play that game and freaking the fuck out about how much they love that game. So good on them. All right, so now we're going to work on parts of the backpack here. That was the most Tetsuya Mizuguchi trailer I've seen in a while from the start. Yeah, Lord Gresham, I think that is a fair assessment on that. Pragmata, a game that they literally, Capcom made a trailer about a couple of years ago saying, hey, this game exists, it's just delayed. Was originally supposed to come out in 2022, but it's been now they have a date for it. So that's coming out in 2026. That is another game that very clearly said, so the director of this game has a child, huh? Because it's a game about like a kid on your back helping you out as you do stuff. It is very like dadcore, space dadcore. But yeah, sometime next year, an anime-ish girl for sure. Romeo is a dead man. Which is just like, he's kind of undead. He's not really. He's going to kill a bunch of zombies. It's got fucking style. This looked pretty damn good. This is, of course, one of two Suda51 games that we'll talk about on this stream. This is the one that I am interested in a little less than the other, but that's not really fair because the one I'm interested in we'll get to when we get to it. But it's just like, yeah, this is a grasshopper fucking game by Suda. Like, yeah, man, it's got fucking style. It's got style and it's got goddamn moves. Like it's doing things and things, and I'm interested in learning more about Romeo is a Dead Man. Which is just also, hey, it's a good name. It's a good fucking name right there. That's a name where you're like, oh, wait, and everybody high fives when you're like, I think it should be called this. Maybe coming out next year. Silent Hill F. Which is like looks spooky. I don't know. I don't have much to say about Silent Hill F. It's a Silent Hill game. It's coming out in September, so you will have time to play it in the spookies. All right, I got to get this big-ass sticker here. This big-ass sticker is going to go on there, so we'll use our... Peel it back a little bit here, use the blade, and then this is an easy one to apply and fill. There we go. Sticker has been applied. Then we can put on the poly cap that we need to put on. And then we can apply this here. Oh, and there's a sticker that goes on this as well. So we'll get that too. Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement, which is a new Bloodstained game. You may remember Bloodstained as a holy shit, so you could just Kickstarter a fake ass Castlevania game? And the answer to that was, yeah, you can just do that, and it could turn out real good. And in this case, it did turn out real good. So, yeah. Not much more to say about it, just other than like, yeah, dude, that looked cool as hell. We got a new Digimon game called Digimon Storytime Stranger, which is not as a buck wild a title as one would expect, because the Digimon games do get buck wild with their titles for sure, but this one is not as buck wild as one may think. Oh, I should say right here, as I'm talking about these trailers and such, I am using an old technique right now, worked out better than kickstarting a fake Mega Man game. Yes, Lashbrook, very much so. So, using a toothpick to help press down stickers is an old technique, and one I used to use, and I don't use it that much. I've often just been using the blade, but here's the thing. Using an X-Acto knife to press stuff down just has the chance that I might stab the sticker with the end of the blade. So I am going to use a somewhat dull end of a toothpick to do this. And there's also some crevices where this would be better to go in. And of course, your finger works as well. But I'm going to try using this more often because it does seem to work out pretty good. And again, the tip of it is dulled a little bit, so it shouldn't be as stabby as, say, a sticker would be, or not X-Acto blade would be. Hey, Final Fantasy Tactics is getting a remake. Long-awaited remake. It looks fucking gorgeous. Tactics is a killer game. It is not my vibe of style of games, but I can still appreciate that it was a banger when it came out. And now, so many years later, I think it will still be poignant and good. And it's good that it exists and it's coming out. I don't have much to say about it other than, hell yeah, dude. Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, cool. Let's see. Then there was a bunch of trailers on a couple games here. Baby Steps, Hirogami, Karen, and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, which is also coming to the PlayStation 4. That is the thing that Kotaku highlighted, and I wanted to highlight as well. We're getting a fucking PS4 game this year. Next month, the end of July, there's going to be a Ninja Gaiden game that comes out on the PS4. And that just feels weird. That feels like a weird true fact. Like a fun fact, but like weird as hell. I'll also have a fun fact later. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Digital Eclipse is doing a Mortal Kombat thing. It's coming out this year. A bunch of games from the series, handheld stuff, console games, arcade ports, rollback netcode, and documentary stuff. This should be great. The usual people you'd expect from Digital Eclipse are working on this shit, and I think it'll turn out great and be some good shit. I'm excited about that. There are still a lot of people from Neversoft that are around that would like to talk about how this thing kicked off. There's still plenty of people to talk to about Mortal Kombat and the various Mortal Kombats. So yeah, it's cool. Hey, there's a new fight stick. The wireless fight stick, which, I should be clear, you can use a USB-C cable to plug in. It's got a USB-C port for charging and also to make it so you can use it. So yeah, if you want to plug it in, you can. But they're making a fight stick and it looks cool. And there's a reason why they're making it's not necessarily why they're making it, but they're making a fight stick, and also there's a game that will probably make good use of this fight stick coming out as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. As Project Defiant wireless fight stick, but you can plug it in. We got a Snake Eater trailer. And maybe there's a multiplayer mode in this. Like, watching this trailer, like, at first I was like, what's happening here? But yeah, there might be like a little bit of Metal Gear Online in this. I don't know. It was a good looking trailer. I'm not particularly asked about it, but like, there is a new trailer and it certainly didn't look bad. I don't want to come out here and pretend that looked bad and I didn't like the look of it, but I was just like, yeah, all right. Okay, we're doing that. All right. There's a demo for Neo 3, which is Team Ninja, of course. And you can, during combat, you can switch between playing a samurai and a ninja. And that looked really good. If what they showed in the trailer, and again, I have not played the demo, if what they showed in the trailer is how the game operates, that's going to be sweet as hell. That looked real good. And that comes out next year. But yeah, there's a demo. If you got a PlayStation 5, you play that demo. And if you want to let me know if that works the way it is purported to work, I'd like to know that. There is another PS2 VR game coming out, a Thief Legacy of Shadow, which is a Thief spin-off. Because it is a Thief game. Eidos Montreal and Vertigo Games are putting it out. And yeah, new Thief game in VR. That could be pretty neat. I'll only know if people tell me, but again, it could be pretty fucking neat. Tides of Tomorrow had a fine enough looking trailer. It's very colorful looking. Coming out in February of next year. Okay, so Astrobot is getting some stuff. They're getting a bunch of free levels later in June. And one thing I can tell you about the Astrobot is that Ghost of Yotei, the main character from Ghost of Yotei, is going to be in it before the game comes out. So a character voiced by Erika Ishii, I don't think she's voicing it in that, but it'll be an Astrobot. And I'm like, that's kind of fucking brilliant. Because it's a bit of a way to like advertise the game in another Sony game, to be like, hey, check this character out. Look at this thing. You fucking buy the game, y'all. Like, I think that's really smart and kind of cool. I don't know. I think that's neat. Also, more stuff for what some people are saying is the best PlayStation 5 game. So like, if you get more stuff, that sounds good. I'm into it. We got a pirate game called Sea of Remnants, which is very colorful. Ocean is the second colorful ocean game shown, I believe, and that looked pretty all right. Art style looked real good. And then also there's another uh, game where you are doing the little water stuff called Sword of the Sea, and it is surfing on a big sword, and that rules. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Sword of the Sea, which is coming to PlayStation Plus on August 19th, that just looks rad. It just fucking looks rad, and I don't know what else I can really say about it. It's the Abzu people. Coming to PS Plus Classic is Deus Ex, the PS2 port, Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, all coming to that. So, look, I think that James Bond is pretty cool. I think IO Interactive is pretty fucking cool. I think IO Interactive doing a James Bond game is pretty cool. I wish it wasn't about a James Bond trying to figure stuff out. Like a James Bond origin story. I don't know if I would want to play that. Even though, again, I like the idea of James Bond video games. I like IO. I like Hitman and the Hitman games they make. That was the last sticker, by the way. I'm now done with stickers. There's no stickers on the legs or the waist. But we're now done with stickers here. It's pretty cool. We'll panel line this. I should say, I'm done with regular stickers. We do have the marking stickers to do at the end. So we do have those. But regular stickers, we are done with. Yes, Lord Crash, I am being a bit of a hater, even if I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm still being a bit of a hater. I just don't know if this is what I would want to play. I don't know. I don't know. Ghosts of Yote is going to have a digital event. That is going to be in July. We'll hear about this game from Sucker Punch. They're getting their own event. That's cool. And now, what might be the biggest announcement of the event. For a lot of people, this is the big time. And maybe one of the reasons why they've got a fight stick coming out, like an official Sony fight stick coming out, is because Arc Systems Works is making a Marvel fighting game. Marvel took on Fighting Souls. It's coming out. This is Sony, Marvel, and Arc System Works. Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Dragon Fighter Z. We're getting a fucking big budget anime looking motherfucking game, an Arc Systems ass game with Marvel characters. It's coming out on PS5 and PC. It's coming out in 2026. It looks fucking awesome. God damn. It looks so fucking good. It looks like goddamn anime. It is an anime fighter. It is a 4-on-4 team, which some people hate, and 4 seems like a lot of people. But the tags and how they made Iron Man. Here's the thing: Iron Man's suit is always depending on. I shouldn't say always. Depending on what your property you're watching, Iron Man's suit is either an exoskeleton or it's just a fucking mech. And in some Marvel fiction, it can just operate. Jarvis can just pilot it without a person in there, and it's just an AI intelligence running it. So, they made it look like it is looked in a bunch of Japanese media when they have the opportunity to make Iron Man. Yeah, it's good. All this shit is good. It looks fucking awesome. Everybody looks way too busy, but in a way that meshes and gels really well together. It looks fucking rad. I have not been super into a fighting game since Dragon Ball FighterZ, so I am interested in this one quite a bit. This looks like a game to fuck around with some people and hang out and have fun, and I am here for it. I'm fucking excited about this shit. I'm real fucking excited about this one. Yeah. And like I said, state of play, good. Looking ahead to the variety of things coming up, I'm looking at the Marino put together the Not E3 2025 time zone chart. Looking at the time zone chart, we are looking at tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time will be the Sony State of Play. I will miss... no, that was today. Sorry. Or that was yesterday. At 4:45 p.m. is the Summer Game Fest. It will most likely, again, be like 15 minutes of just like stuff that actually isn't on the thing, and that's fine. But yes, we have the Summer Game Fest at 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Day of the Devs is on at 7 p.m. after that. The Devolver Direct is after that. The next day at noon, so that'll be Saturday at noon, is the Wholesome Direct. And then the Women-Led Game Showcase. And then the Latin American Game Showcase. And then the Southeast Asian Game Showcase. Then the Green Game Showcase. Then the Future Game Showcase. Then... I'm sorry. The Green Game Showcase and the Future Game Showcase are on at the same time. And then the Frosty Game Showcase. And then the next day, we have the Xbox Showcase and the PC Gaming Show. And the Black Voices in Gaming will be on Monday, June 9th. And looks like we're not getting anything really with that. I should say that the Xbox Showcase will be Xbox games and then focusing on one game after that, which is what they normally do. I will be watching the the Games Fest live and probably Day of the Devs. And I will watch the Wholesome Direct live. And I will be watching, I'll watch the Xbox live, but maybe not. I might watch that later because I have stuff going on this weekend as well. I'm going to click on what the Frosty Games Fest is because I don't know what that is. Frosty Games Fest is all the Games Fusion Showcase visitor events. Okay. Oh, this is an Australia. This is the Frosty Games Fest. Is apparently in part. Yeah, it is the Australian government and Screen Australia. Coolest upcoming releases in Australia and also New Zealand. So that's fun. I didn't get from Frosty Games Fest that was Australian, but that's cool. I'm glad they're doing it. I don't know if I'm going to watch that, but I'm glad that it's happening. On Saturday, we will talk about the Summer Game Fest and Day of the Devs, and maybe also Devolver. So here's the thing about Devolver. I just think they need to stop with the cutesy shit, because the cutesy shit to me is worn off, because they're a real company that lays people off and closes studios and has like deadlines and if your company has investor calls and you're talking about like focusing on your IPs that have like guaranteed value for future properties and focusing on your core game franchises, then like you can't do cutesy fucking shit anymore. And I think they need to fucking cut out the cutesy shit. So the joke has been, I've been long over the joke with Devolver, because they are not the scrappy upstarts anymore. They're like a business that exists. We don't need it. This is my opinion on it. I am being a curmudgeon about this one company, but I don't need to watch that. But yeah, I'll probably do like Summer Game Fest, go through everything, and then like Wholesome, I'll probably only talk about like a couple things, and then on Monday I'll talk about the Xbox and anything else. But some of the smaller ones I'll probably only talk about like, here's the thing that here's the like 5 games that got announced that stood out most to me for these smaller ones, that kind of thing. Oh, we dropped down to 28 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about it at 40, but you know. Real quick, before we take our pause for the cause and get into all of those shenanigans, I should mention that was not mentioned on State of Play, but there is another collaboration happening from Suda and Swery. Suda51 and Swery are getting together. Let me look up this thing. Suda51, 51, and then Swery. What is the name of the thing they're doing together? So yeah, Swery65 and Suda51. They have a course. They're teaming up for a co-op time looping roguelike about serial killers called Hotel Barcelona. They have, now you can say like, oh Pat, this is fun. Finally, these two weirdos that have been in the game industry for a really long time are finally collaborating. And they're going to make a game, and it looks weird, and it's finally these two are working together, and they've never collaborated before. So of course they know of each other, but they never collaborated before. So it's finally time for them to get together. To which I say, well, actually, they have collaborated before. They were in a wrestling stable called Digilution. That was on a showcase last week, Indie Exchange or something like that. Yes. They have collaborated before in League of Heels. They were both in League of Heels. Swery had already done League of Heels once before in a luchador mask, and he had a monkey that was also in a luchador mask. It was a stuffed animal. It was not a live monkey. And he showed up in a luchador mask, and then he came back later. No, Lashbrook. We're not a wrestling show. We're video game. We're panels. We're not on Cage Match. And then Swery came back, and Suda, who was also at PAX, got convinced to do it, and he said, "If I do this, I want to be the great Suda." And I want to spit mist at someone. And we said yes. And then he painted his face to look like the Great Muda. And we didn't know he was going to do that. And Swery showed up in an owl costume that he had commissioned someone to make. Apparently, sometime in between his two appearances, he had commissioned this before he had confirmed he was doing the show. And the fact that these two are making a video game together is the most this makes fucking all the sense in the world possible. It's like, yeah, of course these two are making a video game together. It's incredible they haven't worked together previously, but they were like, they knew of each other and they were like social, but they weren't like close or friendly until they did our dumb thing. And because it was just the two of them and their translator and their handler, who I will not name because he sucks, and it's the unfortunate thing. As I have said when I've talked about this, League of Heels had 100 people involved, over 100 people involved easily. I don't know the exact number, but well over 100 people have been involved with our nonsense. A couple hundred easily. And of that, there's only been like a couple people that just outright sucked and were awful pieces of garbage that I'm glad people have forgotten have been a part of our thing. And that's not the best numbers, but like for video games, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, one of the Bellins here was involved in that. And is the reason why we were able to book Suda. Swery would have done it again. Suda was because of that. It was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. But, yeah. I'm saying that I've collaborated with Swery and Suda on a project. And that's real. Because I helped walk through the segments they were doing. Also Kenny Omega, but Kenny just recorded a video for the unnamed person, and I don't think would ever remember he recorded that video. But I'd like to think that Swery and Suda would remember. I'd like to think that. They had a good time. It was fun. I don't know. Maybe they would never remember that. But I'd like to think that the time that Suda painted his face like the Great Muda and spit mist at somebody, I would like to think he remembers that. I don't know. Pretty fucking weird, right? We had Tim Schafer at the first one. That's the one that's weird to me. The other ones, having Kenny Omega make a video for us, like having Austin booked and then not booked and then booked and then not booked on several occasions, all of that stuff. Austin Creed, as Xavier Woods, all that stuff. The variety of names that we had associated with our nonsense, all to me makes some sense. But Tim Schafer agreed to do the first one, and that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he said yes, but he did. He went to the first one. And then, like, I think we were talking, this was years later, and there was another thing there, and it got introduced, blah, blah, blah. And I said something about, like, Tim, I want to thank you. You did one of our PAX panels. It was a wrestling show. And he went, oh, yeah. And I went, thanks so much for doing that. That was the first one. He goes, oh, yeah. Like, he was, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah. But yeah, Tim Schafer showed up for that first one. I think because he liked the Harmonix guys. I think that's all it really was. And a couple people from the studio were also doing it, but I don't know. I always thought that was very fun. I was just like, yeah, I don't know why for a long time our biggest name involved was it from the first one. Very fun. Tim Schafer's a class act. We know this. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you very briefly about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll get into some things and thangs. We'll talk about some video games that I've been playing and maybe you've been playing. We'll talk about some anime. I have fucking thoughts. Finally, a character was introduced in the Gundam series that I went, I know who that is. And then I was like, I know who that is, and we'll get into why that is, why I said it twice. But first and foremost, if you're a currently subscriber to the Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. Right now, I believe everyone who is watching this is currently a subscriber. So I'll mention, if you want to gift a sub to somebody in the community, it's a new month. You want to be top of the gift sub leaderboard, that'd be great. Trying to get to 40 subscribers. So if you want to throw that in, you can do that. It's time to renew. Looks like Lashbrook, it might be time for you to renew. But yeah, you can do that. Again, I'm going to do a truncated version of this because there's not a lot of you here. Let's see. I got my Patreon tomorrow. I will put up a poll for my $3, $5, and $10 Patreon tier folks, and they will be able to vote on what I do next Tuesday. So look forward to that tomorrow, patrons. Also, I will be putting up a poll for my $10 patrons about what I do next, because I think that these backpack is taking forever, but I think the legs will. I don't think I'm going to finish it on Monday when I'm going to close. Or Saturday. Maybe I'll finish it on Monday. Anyway, I'm going to do a poll soon about what I should build next. I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Become a member if you want to become a member. Those are cool things you could do if you want to do that. Also, if you want to do a direct donation, you can do that as well. That's another way to support me directly. Let's see. My Amazon wish list. Hey, my birthday is this month. If you would like to buy me a birthday present and have it be something that jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build as soon as I receive it, and next thing that gets done is the thing you bought. You want to do that? Get a dedicated YouTube video about the thing you purchased. And then again, like I said, It's my birthday coming up the end of this month, so if you want to give me a birthday present, I got Lego sets and model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, all kinds of things and things. See if there's something there that you stands out to you and you go, oh, I would like Pat to build that. But yeah, I got a bunch of things on there. I just bought something off my own wish list right now that's coming to me in the mail tomorrow. I'm excited to work on that. But yeah, some stuff's very expensive. Some stuff is honestly pretty fucking reasonable. Like a couple kits that are like, that's not bad. That's not a bad price for some stuff. Like a Zaku 1. There's a Zaku 1 kit that's like really inexpensive. It's a very old kit, but like, you know, $15. I'll build that. It looks neat. You could do that. Want to celebrate my birthday. Throne is my alternative to Amazon. It's nice to have a wish list that is not on Amazon. It's nice. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter or Mastodon or Blue Sky with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store, which I like buying from them. They're obviously on the internet. They're not the most I shouldn't say they're on the internet, and check them out. I buy from them fairly often. You could buy from them as well. I recently bought a kit from them. Check them out. It's not an ad, not sponsored. If you want to support me, but you don't want to spend any money, I get that, or any additional money, I get that. But join the Discord if you haven't already. Pardon me. We'd love to have you over in the Discord. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club is my ongoing video series. I have a new one coming out on Monday, but the most recent episode is me talking about the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. I had thoughts on the winners. So yeah, check that out. Hold on one second. Sorry. One quick thinking there. Okay, great. Kuma Baer. He's my weekly anime recommendation series. I have a new theme every month. It's June. And the theme this month is mecha because it's my birthday month. And it's a good time for me to talk about 4 mecha series I like. We're starting with a series that some people don't even really think about as a mecha because it's this wonderful fantasy anime that does have some mechs in it. The Vision of Escaflowne. That's right. A gorgeous series with phenomenal animation, beautiful music, and a compelling story. It's an isekai, which I certainly didn't think of it at the time because I didn't know that word at the time because it wasn't a subgenre back then. But yeah, the Vision of Escaflowne is fucking gorgeous. And I spent under a minute talking about how great it is. This is a one that I recorded several times because I had to keep cutting things from it to get it to be under a minute. I had a lot of things to say about this particular series. And so please watch that 1 minute video and then go and fucking buy episodes on Apple TV is the legal way to do that in the United States. I could not find another way to do it. It used to be licensed on a streamer. It's not anymore. That's literally the only way I can find it. And then, there's other ways. But that's the legit way. I'm going to talk about some anime that I've been watching. Then we'll talk about some video games and some other things and things. Nathan just subscribed with Prime. That's 34 months. Thank you so much, Nathan. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue emote in the chat and thank Nathan very much for their continued support. 29 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up at 40. If you want to become a subscriber, that would be rad. But let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue emote. Thank very much, Nathan. Appreciate you. I mentioned this, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesdays. That's the 17th of June. I will be doing my my spring wrap up and my summer preview. So if you like to hear me talk about anime for many hours, that'll be on the 17th. We'll do that. And also, I should say, I have received a confirmation email that I am participating in the Plastic Model Weekender 2025, a thing that I was pretty much sure I was going to be invited to do, but it had not been official. Now it is official. I'm in Plastic Model Weekender. I have to email with my double checking my availability, and which I will do that, and legally say that I am over 18. It's fun. And then I also have to send an image for that because they want that. But yes, I can say that I share. Lashbrook says 90. That's a lot of months. That's 90 months as a subscriber. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Lashbrook for the continued support. Lashbrook, thank you very much for also using Prime. Now we are at 30 subscribers. We're on our way. Thank you, Lashbrook. Appreciate that. But yes, I got into Plastic Model Weekender 2025, which is the end of the month, and I have to send an email with a bunch of information and my photo that you can use, and I will probably use the photo of me holding a wrestling belt because I like that photo. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I gotta email them back by Saturday, so I will do that. But I can tell people. I am now officially telling my community that I'm in Plastic Model Weekender. I was gonna help out even if they didn't select me, but after skipping it last year, I'm back in. The thing I'm gonna do is gonna be fun. All right, so let's talk about some anime. Before we do that, I do need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera, and I need to drink some water. So we're gonna do that right now. All right. So let's talk about, put this here. There we go. Mobile Suit Gundam, GQuuuuuX, and Once Upon a Witch's Death, GQuarks. You know, Quarks, GQuarks, whatever. I like saying GQuuuuuX. I know it's not right, but I like saying it. It's probably Quarks. Anyway, I need a C15, and I need C21, and I need C18, C17, C19. Okay. Sorry. These are weird instructions that I'm confused about. So I am sorry that I am confused about what all of this does. I think I did C18. One of these is C17. That's C17. That's C18. Then I need C19. Is going to go this. And then C20. Huh. And sorry, everybody. I'll talk about this fucking anime, but this is confusing to me. This. And then C20 goes like this. And then C16 finishes it off. All right, let me get this built first, and then we can talk about this. I apologize, but this is getting weird, so I'm like confused. Okay, so is that on the front? Okay, so this goes like this. Oh, and I need C15. C15 is Lovetronica just subscribed with Prime. That's 21 months. Thank you so much, Lovetronica. Let's do a Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 Bloom in the chat. I love that so many people are resubbing with Prime. That's very fun. Thank you for using your Amazon Prime thing for me. That's very cool. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we're now at 31 subscribers, and that's also rad. Did I get C15 out? Okay, so C15 is... Okay, I didn't get C15 out. All right. Sorry, this part of the instructions is very weird, and so I am trying to figure it out. So I apologize that I am not communicating as well as I could. So C15 goes like this. Looks like that. And then C17 goes in top here. So that goes like that. I know that goes like that. And I know that this goes in here like this. These things make sense to me. And then this goes like that. Like that. I think. And then this goes like this. Is that right? Okay, so that goes like that. And this goes that. And then... Okay. I think I did this correctly. I think this is how this is supposed to look. This looks right. I think I did this correctly. And then this goes in. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Damn it. I didn't do this right. I'm looking at it. I thought for sure I did this correctly. But when it goes in. Oh, wait, well, if it's this one, then it's right, I guess. All right, I think I did this backwards, but it's okay because I can just put it on the one that goes on the other side, and it'll be all right. So I think this is okay. I think this one's all right if I put it on. Yeah, if I put it on this side, I think it's okay. Because this needs to be out like that. All right. I think I did this all right. I'm gonna look at here. Okay, because it has to go together. Yeah, so if it goes into that, then I'll go into that thing because we've got to make the big old backpack that has an extra weirdness to it. I think I did this correctly. Let me look at what D2 looks like. D2 is this piece. And how would it go in here? So it would go in like... like that. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is right. I know I just have to do this one the other way. And remember that it has to go out. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. This thing was mildly confusing to me. So this is 18. So this is C18, which is the outside piece. C18. Then C17 is this piece, which goes like this. On this side, this goes like that. On that side. We need C15. And then it has to go like that. Okay, yes. I think this is correct. Sorry about this. All right, so talking about the episode of Gundam. Amate gets interrogated about where the Rose of Sharon is. And Amate doesn't fucking know anything about this shit. No idea. We'll never know. We'll never know anything about it. Now, Amate doesn't know anything about it. Somebody helps out Amate. We don't know who, or she doesn't know who, and she's able to escape. Congratulations. But she's able to escape. And she gets out in GQuuuuuX. And they're like, okay, well, we're convinced that this is going to lead us right to the Rose of Sharon. I don't know why they think that, but they do think that. They think this will just lead them where they want to go. So they're going to follow her. She crashes and is taken to a brothel to recover, where she meets Lala Soon. And that is somebody who is expected her. She has been expecting this arrival. And she has visions. Now, I should say, at this point, this is where I was pointing at the screen for my monitor and saying, wait, I actually remember this person. This is a woman who Char saved her life in the original, the original timeline, and how she followed and had a great deal of respect for. But also, yes, the Spider-Man pointing, but also grew to at least respect, if not love, another man, and it got complicated because that's how that shit goes. And perhaps it didn't matter either way, because perhaps those two gentlemen were in love with each other anyway, and it doesn't really matter, but that's a story for another time, another place, and perhaps even fan fiction of a different variety. Okay, so this is not right. This is not right. I want this to be like this. So I have to take this apart here. I have to fix this. I messed this up and I got to fix it. So this goes off. Then this comes off. It's going to bother me that I did this wrong. So even if it technically works, it's going to bother me. So then this has to go, because this is going to be, these two things are going to, this is going to be the back of it. And then this is going to go like this. Because this is going to be here. This is going to go this. And then this is going to be facing, wait. Okay. So anyway, she's just like, yeah, I have visions of things. I knew you were coming here. Also, I had this crazy visions of me being in love with a Zeon officer that wears a red uniform. And he freed me. But I saw him die thanks to a guy in a white mobile suit who I also love. Which is just like, oh no. Oh no. Sorry, let me get all this together here. Okay, so this needs to go like this. This needs to go this here. This needs to go on here. And then this needs to be this. Nope, flip it around. Reverse it. Which is interesting because Char famously not killed by Amaru. Yes. It's all confusing and weird. So Amate's just like, hey, come with me. Why she does this, other than the fact that it is important for some storytelling stuff, who knows? But she asked her to come with her. It does not work out because she's like, I gotta wait for my Zeon guy. My Zeon guy is coming. So Amate leaves And they've got to go find the GQuuuuuX and find the mobile armor, which she does. She finds a mobile armor. And there's an unconscious woman there that looks a lot like Lala. And Amate realizes this is the Rose of Sharon, the thing what could have been a MacGuffin, but isn't a MacGuffin, is a lady in a mobile suit. Oh, okay. All right. We figured it out. Then Chalia shows up on the Sodom, and they collect the mobile suit, get Amate, and the end moment of this episode is being basically like, this did not come from this world, which is like, yeah, you think? Now he doesn't, I guess, know that this is a thing that's not from this world, and the woman that is in it is someone from another timeline. To which I'm going to say this. Again, I'm trying not to be a hater on things. Why did we introduce both the... Why not introduce her at any other point in this show? Why in the same episode do we see, not meet, because you can't say meet because one's unconscious, both versions? What? Come on. Like, maybe it's better for people that haven't seen the original, that don't, that aren't going to be like, oh yeah, all right, well, this character. Maybe it's better for that. I don't know if it is. I'm just very confused why they introduced this character and an alternate universe of this character, which is, again, an alternate version of the original history and all this other stuff. I don't know. I don't know why this is happening the way it is. It was confusing to me. Maybe it all makes sense. It feels, to me anyway, it takes a kind of interesting moment in this and kind of says, oh, well, forget about that, because this is fucking cool shit too, right? Like, this is the cool shit. Forget about this other thing that we were just dealing with. And let's focus on this thing. And it just feels weird to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm like not fucking getting it, but it felt strange to me to be like, well, this character is probably going to be important and we're introducing all this other stuff. And here's another version of this character in the same episode. I don't know, it's just me. Ghostfell says, so now the different universes can affect each other, at least, this can go many different ways. I was joking on the LR Discord that maybe UC Char did die at some point, but GQuuuuuX Char went to UC and did the CCA. The idea that Amuro did kill Char, but this Char in this series went to that world, went to that timeline to continue being Char, is a thing they could do in this show if they wanted to. Because why? Who care? I mean, people care, but like, they could do that. Yes, it could be that this girl's, or it's a third version, and the world where Amuro kills Char could happen in the original timeline, but someone goes to that timeline to prevent it from happening so it doesn't happen in that timeline because of reasons. Is also a thing that could be. It could be the thing that happened. Let's see. We want this side here. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on this. Again, other than the fact that I'm not quite convinced that this was the right episode to do to do the reveal and then the reveal. Like, I don't know. That feels weird to me, but otherwise, pretty fucking cool episode. Yes, Ghost Valve. It is just like, it is one of those things where you're like, this is Like, I don't want to call this fan service, but I don't know what else. Like, it's almost like fan fiction service. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, this isn't like, oh, we're doing this for the fans. It's like, we're doing this for the weirdos. Which, like, yeah, weirdos need cool anime shit too. But, like, I don't know. All right, so these have to poke through on the side, and then there's two that go in the forward. Okay, so this has to, like, go like this and sideways. I can't believe how little I'm getting done of this kit. I mean, we did an arm, but this backpack is so convoluted and weird that I feel like I'm not doing a lot today because of it. And so I do apologize for that, but, like, it's just weird. Nope, that's not how it should go then. How does this fucking go? They go in somewhere. They would have to come through. Right? But that doesn't fit like that. Does it go like this? Let me do the other polycaps, because these polycaps are just not working for me. And I don't know why. I'm sorry I'm struggling with this so much. But it really is confusing to me. G. Those were B, D. Yeah, those were N. Those are supposed to go in there. And these are G, which are these here. Okay. Yeah, the whole theory I've seen is that Saving Char 7 is the timeline intervention by whichever Layla. Okay. That, like, that was not supposed to happen, but one of the two Laylas made it happen in this world. Okay, yeah. Sure, I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out. Weird stuff keeps happening, and there'll be more weird stuff. Okay, yeah, so then these go into, like, this goes in something. Okay. Yeah, I just can't fucking... All right, there are pegs that go in on the side, so this has to be in a position like this because there's something that pegs into it. So I have to get these into there, and I don't think it goes in like this because that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay, there is room for it. I just have to figure out how to get in there. I have to figure out how to get this in basically here and then push it through without it popping out at me. Control like this. Nope, yeah, it just pops through. And that's not right. This can't be right. And I do have to plug something into this, so, like, it's not like I can just say, oh, well, it doesn't go there. I can just ignore it, because there are things that have to pop in there, so I gotta do this right. Jumping over to Once Upon a Witch's Death, you may remember this is a series about a girl, Meg, who has been cursed, and she is spending the year trying to collect tears of joy. Ooh, I got one in. I figured it out. I don't know how I did it, but I got one of these in. And if she can collect enough tears of joy, she can break the curse, but there will be apparently consequences for this. And we get some Meg backstory in this episode, which is pretty good. Meg got injured helping out the World Tree and created a new spell. And there is a researcher that wants to meet Meg because of this new spell that could be very beneficial to his research. So she has to meet Jack, the Sage of Life. And they go to a research facility. And apparently, the director of the hospital that they go to says, actually, Faust, the woman that raised her to be a magician, or a wizard or whatever, brought Meg to this hospital as a baby because she had magical contamination. And there was a magical disaster, and she was the only survivor. And then in a series that has been pretty weird, one of the weirdest scenes ever happens in this show, or moments, I should say. Probably moment, not scene. Meg says, you know what? someday I'm going to have to learn about my past and figure out where I came from. Because she doesn't know, apparently, she doesn't know anything about where she was from and what happened to her. A reminder that she has months left to live before she just dies. And she's really far behind on collecting enough tears of joy in order to break that curse. And I was like, so you don't want to find out now? You're literally saying, I'll figure it out later? Like, when's later gonna be, Meg? Very weird. It was the weirdest moment of this show so far, in my opinion. All right, I finally got this kind of connected here. This looks right. This looks like it's doing what it's supposed to do. We're gonna now continue to build. And you're gonna say to yourself, Pat, hey, are you building a head on this backpack? And the answer is yes. I am building a head on this backpack. There is a second V-fin that goes on this backpack because this kit has an alt fighting mode that is very silly, and I love it so much. It doesn't have, I don't want to say it's not a vehicle mode, but it does transform, and that transformation is very silly. I'll give you the kind of bird's eye view of it. We're not obviously done constructing it, but what happens is, Lord Crashing wants me to the dance button, which I will in just a moment. Let me just do this. Let me finish. So this basically is going to attach the backpack here, and then it folds up and over the head. It comes up and over the head and replaces it. And basically, this kit just wears its backpack as a hat. That is the easiest way to describe what happens here. This kit just has a hat, and then it has like attack mode. It's one of the dumbest things, but you can see it here. This is what it looks like when you do it all. It's so silly. That's why we have to build the backpack now. It's one of the silliest goddamn things. It's just unbelievably goofy. But yeah, it wears a hat. Thank you for using your channel points so that I could play the dance thing, which I will. Yes, it's some anime ass shit, indeed. That's why it has the V-fins here. But yes, I will play the dance button. Thank you for using your channel points for the dance button. Here it is. Let me take off the part of this V-fin here. Trim the excess on this V-fin. Yeah. Real montage music right there. Thank you for using your channel points for that. Anyway, yeah, so we got to put this on here. Then I got to put some rockets on it. And then two other little things. Some boosters. But yeah, basically, this backpack becomes a hat is the easiest way to describe it. Very goofy. It's forbidden. Okay, so we meet Mary and Jill. You may remember Mary and Jill. Mary was married to a man who was a big loser and then tried to make a deal with a demon to get power and was going to sacrifice his wife and child, and that got thwarted. And she and her daughter are working at her father's cafe, or her parents' cafe, and then her father, Jill's grandfather collapses, but Jack, the researcher, is there to help out, and also we find out that this is A23, right? Yeah. We also find out that Coco, who is Jack's daughter, also works at with Jill, so it's all a little happy family of friends and stuff. Why won't these fit in? These won't fit in. They're supposed to fit in here. There he goes. I don't know why that was so hard. We find out that Jack is researching ways to remove magical contamination. And he's like, you did that. You took out magical contaminants out of a world tree. That's wild. You helped out a spirit. Do you think you could do that with us? And Meg is like, oh, that would be great. It would be nice to help people. You know, she also suffered from that. And she's also like, this would be probably a pretty good way for me to collect tears of joy, which she needs to not die. So it, like, everybody wins. We find out that Coco, so Coco says my mom, aka Jack's wife, died of magical contamination. And then after an examination, it's like, hey, so the magical contamination you had in curing you somehow, your body changed, and that's how you have your magic eyes, and that might be why you're cursed. So the magical contamination might be related to the curse that she has, which is interesting. So we find that out. And then, so the goal is that they are going to try to cure a boy who has a terminal contamination that has turned him into a monster, and they're going to try to help out this kid. And meanwhile, Meg was there to treat her leg, which got injured. So she's been getting treatment for that. And she has been working on trying to heal contaminated mice with the spell that she created in the previous episode. Sophie has noticed that there's a bunch of symbols all over the city that protect the city from a tsunami. And Sophie's like, I recognize some of these symbols. And that could have something to do with episode 11, which will be the next episode. So we're ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger of like, what is Sophie seeing? What's going on? What's up? Can they help this boy? Are they going to make things worse? Faust did say that there would be repercussions of her, creating this spell. So we might find out that. I don't know. Stuff is afoot. Good episode. I thought this was a strong episode for a series I continue to really enjoy. Thought it was pretty good. Just panel lining this. It doesn't need much, but it's nice to have a little bit of shading on some of these parts here. It's all pretty uniform. It's all one color, but we can throw a little bit of black on there to make it look a little cool. Especially because this will be a hat that the kit will wear at some point. A second head. The fact that the backpack has a V-fin on it for when it pops up is so silly. I fucking love it. I love how goofy that is. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to build this is because it has big weapons. Another reason why I wanted to build it is because it has a scythe, and I like building kits with scythes. And then the third reason was because of this silly battle mode. I really thought folks would get a kick out of it. All right, so now we have two more parts to attach here. We have to attach the rails here, which is A1 and 2, and then A1 and 2, and then we can put this thing together. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? You playing any video games? You watching any TV or movies? Did you just see the Sony Direct? You can be watching a bunch of these summer game things as the mess continues. Did you get a Switch 2? You playing some Mario Kart on there? Let me know what you're up to when you got going on. On Tuesday, I did stream the last free jobs for Power Wash Simulator. I have now completed that last job. I have finished power washing the sculptures exhibit. And man, I really loved Power Wash Simulator. I'm excited for 2. I just really loved 1. It was really creative and fun. That was a game. It's the only game that I played on stream anyway. Started with it as buying the game in early access and then playing every major update and playing it when it came out. And I bought all of the goddamn expansions for it, which is wild that I bought so much of that. Every pack, the free ones, the paid ones, streamed every bonus thing for it. So it's nice to kind of wrap that up on Tuesday. And then we get to look forward to Power Simulator 2. Very excited about that. Yeah, just a fun fucking video game that I was glad that we were able to stream. Also, I'm playing more Hearthstone. I got a fun Death Rattle deck. Even though the mini set has only been out for a little while, they are promoting the next expansion coming soon, and that means that there is a card that has gotten released from the next expansion, which replays, I believe, 5 of the Death Rattles that you have used. So there are Death Rattles that do damage to your hero. To your opponent's face, I mean. And so you can just do that a bunch and then play that card. And also, there's a card that triples your next battle cry. So you just do a bunch of damage, and then you play a card that then means when you play the next one, it does even, there's a shaman card that does that. And it's just a very consistent, easy thing. They're going to have to nerf it. They're going to have to make it like do 3 Death Rattles or 2 Death Rattles. But the 5 Death Rattles is just too much. I just made a killer, incredibly easy to pull off combo that just does so much goddamn damage. It is fucking hilarious how much destruction you can wrought in that game. It's very funny to just be unbelievably powerful in it now. I really like that deck. And also I have built the deck in a way that like it doesn't take long to get the combo and play the combo. It's pretty good. All right, so yeah, so here is the backpack. As you can see, it's like a flight pack, and then you push the head down, push this on top of it, and then you can put this down, and then I can't remember how I do this. Wait. Oh, I think I have to do this like this. And I don't know how I get these. Oh, I put the arms down. No, yeah, okay, and it goes like that. Put the shoulders down, and this can go like that. And then this goes up over and becomes the head. Really silly. And then it's got grabbers. It just has a hat. It just has a hat, folks. I don't know what else to tell you. It just has itself a big old hat. And it's very silly. Yeah. Very goofy. I love it so much. Don't make no sense. Anyway, I'm glad we got this big backpack done. That makes me happy. Put that on there, and then this goes like this, and then these go. I don't know how. Wait, how does this switch back down? Oops. I don't remember how this goes back down. Oh, it goes like that. Okay. That's what it does. It goes like that. Great. We did it. It's basically just like Luffy's hat. Yes, indeed. It's very much like Luffy's hat. But I'm glad we got this big backpack built on stream. And now we can start working on the legs, which will take us some time to do. But I will do a poll about what, because I don't think I'm going to finish this on Saturday, but I might finish this on Saturday. So we'll do a poll about, what I should build next. Because there's a chance I finish it on Saturday. So tomorrow there'll be a poll for, Saturday I will do a poll for what I'm building next. Tomorrow I will do a poll about what I'm playing next Tuesday, because I want to give more time. The $10 patrons, it's like, there's only a couple of you, but I want to give plenty of time for the people that are, there are more people that get to vote on that. So I want to give them plenty of time to have their voices heard. So I need A25. We have a little time left so we can get started on this. I also want to read what y'all been writing. Go Ghostfile says, held off on getting a Switch 2, may rethink if finances stay okay. Finished up Power Wash Sim maps, bought and am working through Mosaic of the Pharaohs, same dev as Proverbs. Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. Hoping to get some time in Elden Ring, Night Rain at some point, having to fit it in. Also looking forward to Final Fantasy pre-release this weekend. Yeah. I've watched Loading Ready Run doing their league. They started a league, and that's kind of cool. So I'm going to watch more of that. Just playing some games and stuff. Playing some of that. There are some Final Fantasy cards for Magic the Gathering that I'm very much like, ooh, I don't want to buy any Magic cards, but if I was going to buy a Magic card, that would be the Magic card. Ooh, be some of these Magic. Ooh, I kind of look at that. Oh, that's a neat card. I'm not going to buy Magic cards. I'm interested in some of those Magic cards. They're real good. But yeah, Lord Crash says, I got home at 1:15 a.m. last night with my Switch 2 and then went to bed. Set it up after I got up before going to work. Neat so far. Hell yeah. Glad you got one and get set up. Do your thing. Make it happen. Do all the stuff. And then Lashbrook says, got my Switch 2 delivered before I woke up today. So, of course, I ended up adding my PS4, Xbox One, and Switch games to my pricing chart collection while it downloaded stuff. Ended up watching They Live Again after talking with someone about the big fight in it. God, that fucking fight. Still real good and real amazing work on what has to be incredibly low budget. Playing Mortal Kombat World, and that game is real pretty. Yeah. I did want to say, Night Rain. I have been watching some people stream that together, and that has been very fun. And there are some people in my multiplayer crew that are checking that shit out and having a good time with it. And I hope they continue to check that out. I hope they continue to have a good time with it. But yeah, watching some streamers play together, and I was watching one person who is he's not doing solos, but he is just joining randos and trying to get through it. And that doesn't seem particularly fun. But if you got two people to play with, that could be pretty, if you've got people that are on the similar schedule for you and you can get the time together. Oh, Mario Kart World. Mortal Kombat with some open world mode would be really, really interesting. I thought for sure it was Mortal Kombat World. Mario Kart World. I was like, I don't know what Mario Kart World is, but that sounds cool. But no, Mario Kart World. Yeah. That makes more sense, Lashbrook, that's what you'd be playing. That you would be playing some Mortal Kombat thing I've never heard of, but instead Mario Kart. Nice. But yeah, if you've got some people to play Night Rain with, it sounds like Night Rain might be really fucking cool. So get in there. All right, we're going to wrap up the stream tonight. That's going to be it. The goal on Saturday is to finish this kit. I don't know if we will by the end of it because the legs have some stuff to build for that. I got all this. I got a bunch of parts here to put together. So we got to do all that. So we'll continue on that. Tomorrow there will be a poll for my $10 patrons. On Saturday there will be a poll tomorrow there will be a poll for my $3, $5, and $10 patrons. On Saturday or Sunday there will be a Patreon poll for just my $10 patrons. Maybe I'll wait till Sunday because I don't think I'm going to finish this kit on Saturday. And if I do, it'll be at the end. So yeah, we'll do that. We are going to raid though. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. So I hope you will come along on this raid as we go and hang out, because I have to reply to this Plastic Metal Weekender schedule or request, and I guess into my schedule there. So let me do that. And let's find out who we're going to go raid. Because, as we say, we always end with a raid. Go hang out with some people. See who's doing things and things. My friend P2 is playing Bayonetta 2. So we're going to go hang out with P2 as P2 plays some Bayonetta. Because that sounds fucking fun. Hope you can come along on this raid because it'll be very cool and fun. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you come along on this raid. I hope you come back on Saturday as I continue working on this kit. which has a weird transformation as we saw. And, you know, we'll talk about a bunch of summer game stuff on Saturday as well. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.